Smorgasbord Radio Show.
This is the Smorgasbord Radio Show, episode 155. And this is a special presentation of the Smorg Show podcast. We're here to honor the master of the wide open spaces between the ears, Mr. Baba Gonesh. 80 years old this November 5th, 2022. I've taken the liberty to pull together the best of Baba Gonesh, going back to the beginning of time. Well, we're not going to go back to when we first met Baba. We actually had a very good conversation that I don't know if you heard on our 40th anniversary show a couple weeks ago, episode 150. Baba called into the show and he and I reminisced about how we met over 40 years ago. So if you're interested in that story, check out episode 150. We're not also going to go back to the original high school radio days where Baba was on our show, because we played some of those clips on our 40th anniversary show. So instead, we plan to go back to the beginning of this podcast, which started in 2010, and we're going to go through, we've categorized Baba into various genres, let's say, because he's an amazing fellow. I mean, he's a thought leader. He's a poet. He is a great contemplator. He's a spiritual leader. And, more importantly, he's a news correspondent. So we're going to attempt to put together a collage of Baba's best. Baba's not with us today. He's back in his homeland. He's celebrating around all of his family, his wife, his kids, his grandkids. We don't really talk too much about his family, which we should probably do sometime. But they've all traveled back to his homeland and he's gathered around. So we're going to let him celebrate, and hopefully he'll be back on our show very soon. So in the meantime, we've got plenty of material to get through without Baba. So we're going to do this first segment, which will focus on his thought for the day period. If you go to our website, smorgshow.com, there's a Baba page, and you've got some of his old videos that he helped us do in my high school TV class. And of course, it's not him. He's doing the voiceover. We talked about this on episode 150. But those Thought for the Day episodes were more geared for video. So what he did was he tried to translate them and adapted them for radio or our podcast. So they're a little bit more descriptive. They're more theater of the mind, let's say. And so we're talking about the fly casserole, how to prepare for a date, and of course, how to clean your camel litter box. And of course, on the telephone call from episode 150, Baba ripped into me for my cultural appropriation, or my actually more and more of my ignorance of the Indian culture. That don't know why we picked camel instead of elephant, but anyway, that's a different story. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll come back and we'll comment and we'll go to the next segment. But this is in honor of Baba Gonesh. His 80th birthday. Twice as old as the Smorgasbord Radio Show. How about that? Okay.
Thank you very much. It is time for Thought for the Day. If you were to take all the dead flies that they've collected in your windowsill over the last summer and put them in a bowl. Or you could have any size of bowl. You could have a small bowl if you have a lot of flies, or a big bowl if you have a lot of flies. Place a nice layer of flies at the bottom of the bowl. This should be a glass bowl. I think it is also important to point out that you should be preheating your oven to 350 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. Once you have put the flies in the bowl, you need to add half a pound of beef and a half a pound of Italian sausage. And I would also put in a half a pound of rigatoni pasta. This is starting to smell good already. Once you have added all the beef and the sausage and the pasta, you want to put in 4 ounces of mushrooms, drained. 1 jar of spaghetti sauce. I prefer ragu, tomato sauce. Probably 16 ounces, I guess, would be about the size jar that you should use for this size of proportions. And if you were to take 1 pound of shredded mozzarella cheese and sprinkle it around on the top, and add some breadcrumbs and sprinkle it around on the top, and takes a little bit more flies and sprinkle them around on the top, just for decoration. And if you were to put this in your oven for about 20 minutes, until the cheese is brown and bubbly, while you are watching the Oprah Winfrey Show. Once this thing is done, do you know what you would have? You would have a delicious fly casserole. Actually, it would be more like a delicious Italian fly casserole. Thank you so very much. I hope you enjoy. This is Baba Gonesh. Once again, for Thought for the Day. I'll talk to you next week.
Hello, everybody! This is Baba Gonesh, and it is time again for Thought for the Day. Today, in honor of St. Valentine's Day, this Thought for the Day is how to prepare for a date. While waiting for that beautiful hunk of babe, this is how you prepare for that special evening at home. First of all, make sure your drapes are open so that your date will be impressed by the wonderful view of the Taj Mahal from your high-rise condominium. If you do not have a wonderful view of the Taj Mahal, keep your drapes closed, or you can paint a wonderful view of the Taj Mahal on the wall. Secondly, and maybe the most important thing of all, the smell of the room and you. First, the room. About 10 to 15 minutes before your date arrives, light the incense. Preferably Ganesh Cone Incense number 16 in the Ganesh Cone Incense series. I believe this one is called Essence of Green Mountains, but I don't remember for sure because I have so many fragrances in my series. But that is getting beside the points. This will give ample time for the room to collect the wonderful aroma that your cones will produce. Next, you must consider the smell of you. For this, I recommend Camel number 5 to bring out that irresistible masculinity and charm. With this, you are guaranteed to be an irresistible stud. Now would be a good time to take a look at yourself. But wait!
You are not ready for your date just yet. No, no, no. You must remember flowers for your date. Now, it is Valentine's Day, so it is likely that the florists will take advantage of your generosity by marking up price substantially. That is why I recommend going down to your local PP Amico for this important purchase. Now you are ready for your date. It is almost that magical time when she will be at your door. Are not you excited? I am excited just thinking about it. I am trembling with anticipation. Ooh, there she is! You continue to tremble with anticipation as you approach the door. You open the door. There she is! That beautiful hunk of babe you have been waiting for. The moral of this thought for the day is never, ever prepare for an ugly date this long. Thank you very much. This is Baba Gonesh, and I will be back again very soon with another thought for the day. Hello everybody, this is Baba Gonesh, and it is time once again for another thought for the day. Today's thought for the day is how to clean your camel litter box. Camels, like any other ordinary house pet, require very much love, attention, care, and litter box cleaning. In order to clean, you must first have a pooper scooper at hand at all times. Now, this is not an ordinary house cat we are talking about here, so you will need something slightly larger in size than your typical litter spoon. I highly recommend the Craftsman 20-inch snow shovel, available at your nearby Sears store. Oh, but don't be fooled by its light weight. Its indestructible blade is made with polycarbonate, a very durable material commonly used in bulletproof glass and football helmets. This will be a perfect tool for removing the waste of your beloved pet. And now for the actual cleaning. It is important to note that this is not an enjoyable job, nor a neat one either. So do not wear your good turban while you are doing this task, and do not invite your date over to watch you, because she will not be impressed one bit. Step number 1. Lift the box and tilt it towards the back. Shake the box gently up and down, and you should see some urine balls emerge and float towards the top. Repeat this step, lifting the box and shaking it a few times, but this time do so at the opposite end. At this point, the majority of the waste is now on the surface and available for easy removal. If shaking the box causes the litter to throw off a lot of dust, skip this step. The dustiness of the litter will depend on the brand and quality that you buy. I prefer to use Camel's Pride. It is very high quality and does not aggravate my asthma. Step number 2. Removing the urine clumps from the edges. It is important to note here that camels are not very good at aiming for the center of the box. And as a result, all too often you will find a clump of litter cemented to the box. This stuff is clay and sticks to the box like Mississippi mud to a boot. Do not attempt to scrape this mess off. It will fall into crumbs that are impossible to remove with a scoop and will contaminate your litter, and the box will stink of urine no matter how clean it looks. Your camel deserves better than this. It is very important to note that you must keep the pee balls intact to the extent possible. Now here is the trick. Remove the cemented waste by lifting the box so you can tap on the outside of the box and knock off the Klingon in one piece. If you have a liner, pull on it so that the clump turns on its side and falls off of the plastic. And now we come to the worst part of the all. Removing the Tootsie Rolls so that your camel will have more room in the future. And let me tell you, your camel will really appreciate you. Now this job can be quite heavy depending on the age of your camel, so feel free to solicit a neighbor's help for the heavy lifting. Scoop the waste into a large hefty bag, double strength. Closing it up tightly, then put it into a small trash can with a lid and take it out with the trash. But do not forget to replenish the litter. Use enough litter up to 12 inches tall, since most camels, especially long-haired ones, won't use litter that's deeper than this, or might dig a big hole causing litter to spill over the sides. Use your scoop to grade the gravel so that it slopes up high on both ends of the litter box, forming a gentle trough. This slope is key to keeping your box clean. You want to maximize the depth of the litter where your camel dumps his business so that the litter can absorb the waste before it reaches the plastic sides or the bottom of the box and sticks to it like glue. Camels, especially male camels, tend to urinate at either end of the box, but rarely in the middle. And finally, you must air out your place. This atmosphere will not impress your date either. I highly recommend using my series of Gonesh cone incense, fragrance number 14, Essence of Green Mountains. Now you have completed your task for the day. Aren't you proud of yourself? Let me tell you, your camel is very proud. The moral of the thought for the day is never, ever let your camel get into the milk of magnesia. Thank you very much again. This is Baba Gonesh, and this has been Thought for the Day.
All right. Thank you, Baba. And we continue with our next segment here. Baba wasn't always serious. He took a try at comedy, some stand-up, some sit-down, but he tried to crack a joke here and there. So we've got some bits here. Of course, you know, the Comedy Camel series comes to mind. We'll see how it goes. We've got several clips here of Baba's humor, so sit back and enjoy.
Hello! I am so very excited!
Why? Because your restaurant?
Yes, my restaurant is a big, tremendous success! Especially with the Blackhawks winning the World Cup. Wait a minute! It's the Stanley Cup, Baba. I'm sorry. I don't follow hockey.
Oh, I didn't even catch that.
But I do follow soccer, so I don't know why I called it the World Cup. Anyway, the Blackhawks. Boy, we had a lot of traffic. Lots of people coming into Chicago.
So what do you think?
I am right near the Union Station train station, so people were looking for food, and the first thing they think of is Pakistani Indian food.
What do you think is your best-selling dish?
I would say it's the makhani. It's very, 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 very good. The vegetarian makhani. So, I am here with more jokes.
Okay, what do you got?
3 friends who, after graduating from college, were meeting for the first time in years. They each had gone back to their native cities of Delhi, Bombay, and Calcutta. The man from Bombay wanted to impress his other 2 friends with the medical expertise in Bombay. So he stated, I know of a doctor in Bombay who joined a 7th arm with special glue. Not to be outdone, the friend from Calcutta said, "Oh, that's nothing. One of the doctors in Calcutta recently rejoined somebody's head with a special ointment. We have even got something even better," proclaimed the man from Delhi. "One of my uncles was cut into two right around the navel. Our doctor immediately slaughtered a goat and joined its rear half to my uncle's upper half. Now we have my uncle as well as 2 liters of milk every day." Ha ha! Ha ha!
Ha
Ha! I can tell you like that one very much, so I've got another one. Once Lalu Yadav What are you laughing at? Once Lalu Yadav, Sonia Gandhi, a saint and a schoolboy were traveling by a private plane. Suddenly the engine caught fire and the pilot came out shouting, "This plane is going to crash and we have only 4 parachutes and there are 5 of us in this plane. Since I am a very important Indian airplanes pilot, I am taking 1 parachute and getting out of here." Saying this, he rushed to the luggage area, grabbed 1 parachute and jumped off the plane.
Nice special effects.
Thank you very much. Sonia Gandhi said, "Oh, since I am the future Prime Minister of India and I am very important and I have to live," she also grabbed a parachute and jumped. Lalu Yadav, what is so funny? Lalu Yadav said, "I am the kingmaker of this country. I am the most honest politician of India, and above all, I am the most intelligent person living in this country. And the most intelligent person must live." Saying so, Lalu went to the luggage area, grabbed 1, and jumped off the plane.
Sounds like a dying goat.
The old saint said to the schoolboy, "There is only 1 parachute left, and there are 2 of us. I am an old man and don't need to live anymore. You take the last parachute and you jump." Oh, the schoolboy said, "Don't worry, there are 2 parachutes left with us." The most intelligent person, Lalu Yadav, jumped off the plane with my school bag.
So she died.
Hero Lal is driving down the Delhi highway when he spots Bola standing in the middle of a huge grass field. He pulls the car over to the side of the road and notices that Bola is just standing there, doing nothing and looking at nothing. Hirola gets out of the car, walks all the way to Bola and asks him, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" Bola replies, "I'm trying to win a Nobel Prize." "How?" asked Hirola, puzzled. "Well, I heard they give the Nobel Prize to people who are outstanding in their field."
Oh, wow. Where do you get these?
Out of my, well, it's a family show.
Oh. Now we have a special surprise. It's Bubba.
Hello, everybody!
Hi, Baba. Hi.
Hello, little person!
This is Kat.
Hello.
She was born 4 hours after me.
Hello.
Hello, Cat. How are you?
Good.
Cat, like the animal.
Yes, I know. Where am I going to sit?
Right here. Take my seat.
Well, hello there, everybody.
Are you here for Comedy Camel?
Yes, I am. It has been a couple of weeks since we've done our last Comedy Camel, so I'm going to do Comedy Camel. Do you know what Comedy Camel is?
Yes.
And pay no attention to the cover of this joke book.
It says elephants.
Get out of here. I think we have covered this ground before.
Unfortunately.
These are very wise jokes from the homeland that I hope you will enjoy. Why do girl camels wear Angora sweaters?
I don't know. Why?
So you can tell them from boy camels.
Okay.
What does a bald camel wear for a toupee?
A wig?
Do you know what a toupee is?
Yeah, it's like almost like a wig for men.
That is very correct. What does a camel wear for a toupee?
What?
A sheep.
I don't get it.
Neither do I.
What did the banana say to the camel?
What?
Nothing. Bananas don't talk.
You're not supposed to jump in with the punchline. That is absolutely correct.
That's the joke to every banana. That's the punchline to every banana joke.
I've heard it at least a million times.
Why do camels lie on their backs with their feet up in the air?
Why?
So that they can trip birds.
I think I've heard that one before.
I haven't.
Why did the camels quit their job at the factory?
Why?
I don't know.
Because they got tired of working for peanuts. Wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Elephants eat peanuts.
Not camels.
Sorry about that. I don't think I did that one right. How do you housebreak a camel?
How?
14 copies of the New York Times, the Sunday edition. Why do camels eat peanuts? Oh.
They don't. That's why it says world's worst elephant jokes on the cover.
I'm sorry. I think your eyesight is going. Because they are saltier than prunes. And where do you find camels?
In the desert?
No. It depends where you lost them. I made you laugh. How can you tell when a camel has been in a refrigerator?
All the food's gone.
Very close, but no banana.
What?
By the footprints in the pizza.
But I don't have pizza in my fridge now.
How can you tell if a camel is sleeping?
His eyes are closed?
When he's in bed with the covers pulled up and he's wearing pajamas and his pink tennis shoes are off, the chances are he's asleep. If he is snoring. But you watch it anyway. Why do the camels walk around in polka dot socks?
They don't.
Because
They never have.
That's very true, actually. But no, because somebody stole his tennis shoes. Okay, I have one last joke and then I'm out of here, as they say. Why do the camels... No. Why? No. What did the camel say when he got caught in the revolving door?
Ouch, I'm stuck.
If this place wants to do much business with camels, they better get bigger revolving doors. Thank you very much. This is Baba Gonesh, and I will see you later.
Bye.
You know those are just recycled elephant jokes, and you just substituted the word elephants with camels.
Liar.
This is a joke. I thought I would warn you. Sometimes you don't know if I'm going to be serious, thoughtful, reflective, or humorous. Today, I will try to be humorous. Okay, here we go. This is called the Pakistani tourist. A Pakistani tourist, after a long walk in one of a very fancy clean streets of Delhi, found himself needing to urinate badly. After a long search, he could not find any place to, do his business. And eventually he couldn't control himself, and he chose a silent corner of the street to release himself. As soon as he had just started to, a Delhi police official approached him, and he said, "Hey, what are you doing over here?" And the Pakistani tourist said, "Oh, I am so sorry, I have to pee." The police said, "No pee here today, okay? Follow me." The police officer took him to a beautiful garden nearby with lots of grass, flowers, and singing birds around. It was such a beautiful place. And the police said, "Pee here and have a very nice day." The Pakistani tourist said, "Oh, sir, that is so very nice of you. Is this Indian courtesy?" And the policeman said, "No, this is the Pakistani embassy." Yes, the joke is over. Thank you so very much, and I will talk to you again very, very, very soon. I am Baba Gonesh, master of the wide open spaces between the ears. Good day. I am here with some camel jokes.
Yay.
Somewhere around here are my camel jokes. Where are my camel jokes?
I think it's in a book marked elephant jokes.
No. It's been 7 weeks since I've had a laugh around here, so I am here to make you laugh.
Okay.
My first joke. What do you do when a camel sneezes?
Get out of the way?
You are not supposed to answer my jokes like that. That is correct.
Oh. Well, that was just the reasonable answer.
You are supposed to be amazed.
I wasn't. No, I wasn't.
Let me try this one again. What did the nearsighted camel say when the Volkswagen ran into it?
Ouch.
No. How many times have I told you kids do not play in the street? Are you ready for the next one?
I guess so.
Why don't camels ride buses during the rush hour?
I don't know.
They are afraid of pickpockets. Since you like that one so much, I have another one. What does a camel smell like before it takes a shower?
Stink.
A camel. What does a camel smell like after it takes a shower?
A clean camel?
Very close. A wet camel.
You can't really smell wet.
And my final joke for today. Why don't camels like martinis? Did you ever try to get an olive out of your nose? Wait a minute. That sounds like an elephant joke. An elephant joke got into the mix. I admitted that it was an elephant joke. I just took that one out of my favorite collection. Thank you, Baba. Thank you so very much. Hello, everybody. This is Baba Gonesh. And it is time to break the tension of this program with a little bit of humor. I have been living in this country for a little over 30 years, and I have been observing this Halloween custom for many years. And I've written my own jokes based on my observations of this culture. and of my favorite vampire movies. Let's try this. Why did Dracula go to the dentist? He had a fang ache. What is it called when a vampire has trouble with his house? A grave problem. How can you tell when a vampire has been in a bakery? Because all of the jelly has been sucked out of the jelly donuts. What do you call a little monster's parents? Mummy and Daddy. What do Italians eat on Halloween? Fettuccine Alfredo. Which building does Dracula visit in New York City? The Vampire State Building, of course. Where do most werewolves live? In Hollywood, California. Where do most goblins live? In North and South Carolina. What can't you give the headless horseman? A headache, of course. What kind of gum do ghosts chew? Boo-boo gum. And my last joke for the day is, what does a monster wear to parties? A bow tie. That is all I have for Baba Joke. Have a good Halloween. Thank you very much.
Hey, Baba, how are you?
Hi.
Hey, it's very good to see you again.
Yeah, can you maybe do something a little different this week? We're a little tired of those Indian folk tales.
We've been hearing a lot of them.
Yes, I realize that. I have come prepared for this, for the realization.
What?
The realization.
What's that?
Oh, I get it. I didn't understand him at first.
Yes, the realization. The fact that you have been tired of my things. What?
What?
You've been tired of my stories, haven't you?
Yeah?
Well, I have come with an old favorite bit from the old Chris and Dave Smorgasbord show. I am going to do Comedy Camel.
Oh, yeah! Comedy Camel.
Isn't that the thing with all the lame camel jokes?
What do you mean lame? These are classic camel jokes, known to the homeland.
Okay.
All right, Baba, why don't you take my chair?
Thank you. Thank you very much. My first joke of the evening. What did Tarzan say when he saw the camels coming over the hill?
I don't know. What did he say?
Here come the camels over the hill.
No comment?
What did Tarzan say when he saw the camels coming over the hill wearing dark sunglasses?
Here come the camels over the hill with dark sunglasses?
No. Nothing, because he did not recognize them.
Classic, huh?
Why do camels float down the river on their backs?
I don't know.
So they won't get their tennis shoes wet.
When do camels wear tennis shoes?
How do you tell a camel from a grape?
I don't know.
A grape is purple. What did Jane say when she saw the camels?
Who's Jane?
She's with Tarzan.
Oh, okay. What did she say?
Ooh, look at all those grapes! Because she was colorblind.
Oh my gosh.
Why are camels colored gray?
Wait a minute. Camels aren't gray. These are just old elephant jokes, aren't they?
Sorry, why are camels colored brown?
I don't know.
So you can tell them from canaries.
Camels and canaries look nothing alike.
What is it that looks like a camel and flies?
A flying camel?
You saw my answer sheet, didn't you?
No, I just guessed.
Shame on you! And this is the last one for the evening. What is it that looks like an elephant? Oh, shoot! Aha! You've been found out! I'm sorry. What is it that looks like a camel and flies and is very dangerous?
I don't know.
A flying camel with a machine gun. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Just elephant joke.
It's just those old recycled elephant jokes.
Yeah.
All righty. Thanks, Baba. We'll see you next week.
Thank you very much.
Well, hope we've been keeping you in stitches there. You're listening to the Baba Gonesh 80th birthday celebration as we look back on the massive catalog of Baba. And we just completed the comedy segment. Baba then went into a phase of digging into his old family stories that have been passed down generation to generation over the years, and Indian folk tales. And we pulled up, there's so many of them. And again, you have to go to Baba Gonesh podcast to hear the vast collection. But we pulled out a couple here just to give you a sampling. I think these two are about birds. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll be back again. This is the Smorgasbord Radio Show, Baba Gonesh 80th birthday celebration.
Today's thought for the day is a story about a little bird. One day, a little bird was flying south for the winter. It was so cold that the bird froze and he fell to the ground into a large field. While he was lying there, a cow came by and dropped some dung on him. As the frozen bird lay there in the pile of cow dung, he began to realize just how warm he was. The dung was actually thawing him out, and he felt very comfortable. He lay there all warm and happy, and soon he began to sing for joy. But just then, a passing cat heard the bird singing and came over to investigate. As the cat followed the sound and got closer, the cat discovered the bird under the pile of cow dung. The cat then promptly dug him out, and he ate him. There are 3 morals of today's thought for the day. Number 1, not everyone who poops on you is your enemy. Number 2, not everyone who gets you out of the poop is your friend.
And number 3, when you are deep in poop, it is best to keep your mouth shut. Thank you very much.
Hello, everybody!
Hi, Baba.
Hello, Ellie!
Hi, we haven't seen you in like 3 weeks.
I know. I don't know what I've been doing. I've just been relaxing and meditating a lot.
Okay.
Well, as you know, I was in Delhi, India, early in the month for the annual Holi festival. And I became so inspired when I came across my own childhood folktale book. And for those of you who have listened in the last few weeks, I've introduced these folktales to you, and I plan to do so going forward.
Okay.
Are you enjoying my folktales?
Yes.
Well, here we go. I have another one for you, and this one brings back so many nice memories for me and for my childhood, and I hope you enjoy this one. This one is called The Bird with Two Heads. Once upon a time, there lived a strange bird named Burunda. He lived on a banyan tree near the banks of a river. The strangeness of this bird lies in the fact that he had 2 necks but shared a common stomach. One day, the bird was wandering on the banks of the lake and found a red golden fruit, which appeared delicious at the first sight. One of the 2 heads mumbled, "Oh, what a fruit! I am sure the heavens have sent it for me. I am so lucky." He started eating the fruit with immense pleasure and claimed that it was the most delicious fruit he had ever eaten. Hearing this, the other head said, "Oh dear, let me also taste the fruit you are praising so much." The first head laughed, and he replied, "You know that we've only got one stomach. Whichever head eats, the fruit will go to the same stomach, so it makes no difference whether I eat it or you eat it. Moreover, I'm the one who found this fruit, so I have the first right to eat it." The other head became silent and disappointed after hearing the first head. This kind of selfishness on the part of the first head pinched him very much. Later one day, the other head found a tree bearing poisonous fruits. He took the poisonous fruit and he told the first head, "You deceitful fellow, I will eat this poisonous fruit and avenge your insult, which you have done to me. Please, don't eat this poisonous fruit. If you eat it, both of us will die, because we have a common stomach to digest it." The other head replied, "Shut up! I have found this fruit, and I have every right to eat it." The first head started to cry, but the other head didn't bother, and he ate the poisonous fruit anyway. In consequence of this action, both of them lost their lives. The moral of this folktale this week is sharing of a good thing with others is always good. Unless you drop dead. Thank you very much.
Thank you. They always say that 2 heads are better than 1, but I don't know if that's the case here.
And I don't know what they say about having only one stomach. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed my story. I will see you next week.
Is that why there is no such thing as birds with 2 heads now?
Who says? Thanks, Baba. We appreciate it. Come again.
So in addition to Indian folk tales, Baba took it up a notch to make things interesting. The next 2 here are they are Indian folk tales, but I would put them under the category of dramatic readings. Baba was playing around with some voices and some technology to alter his voices into some characters. So let's give this a try. We've got one called Little Mice and Big Elephants, and the other one is The Hunter and the Dove. So sit back as we continue this 80th birthday celebration of Baba Gonesh.
Hello, everybody! This is Baba Gonesh. Once again, I am here to entertain and enchant my very dear listening audience, which I really, really appreciate. Let me tell you. Today, I am going to tell you another tale from the long-lost collection of my recently found uncle. From my trip to India, I thought this one would be especially interesting to all of my listeners. It is called The Little Mice and the Big Elephants. Once upon a time, a village was ruined by a strong earthquake. The houses and the roads got totally damaged, and the village was totally shattered. And because of this, the villagers were forced to leave their houses and settle somewhere else. Finding the place vacant, the mice began to live in the ruined houses. Soon their numbers grew into the hundreds and the thousands. There was a big lake located near the ruined village. A herd of elephants used to visit the lake for drinking water. This was the only way available to them to reach the lake. On their way to the lake, the elephants crushed hundreds of mice daily under their heavy feet. By this action of the elephants, the population of the mice was affected. The problem was getting bigger and bigger by the day. In order to find a solution to this problem, the mice held a meeting. It was decided that a request should be made to the king of the elephants regarding the problem. The king mice met the king elephant and asked, "Sir!" Wait a minute. I have a better idea for this. Let's see if this adds to the effect.
Hello, how is this? Oh, this is very good. Okay. Sir, we live in the ruins of the village. But every time when your herd crosses the village, thousands of my subjects get crushed under the colossal feet of your herd. Kindly change your route. We promise to help you in the hour of your need if you keep to my terms.
The king elephant laughed on hearing this and replied, You
mice are very small to be of any help to giants like us. But that doesn't matter. We would favor you by changing our route to reach the lake and making you safer."
The king mice thanked the king elephant and returned home. One day, a group of elephant hunters came and trapped a group of elephants in huge, strong nets. The elephants struggled hard to free themselves, but all in vain. Suddenly, the king of elephants remembered the promise of the king of the mice, who had talked earlier about helping the elephants when needed. He summoned one of the elephants of his herd, which had not been trapped, to go and contact the king of rats. On listening to the elephant, the rat king immediately took his entire group of mice to rescue the herd. He found the elephants trapped in a thick net. The mice set themselves on the task. They nibbled the thick net at thousands of spots, making it loose. The elephants broke the loose net and got free. They were so very grateful to the mice for their great help, and they became friends forever. The moral of today's folk tale is sometimes a weak-looking person may prove stronger than others. Thank you so very, 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 very much. This is Baba Gonesh, and I will be with you again very, very soon. Enjoy your day. Goodbye. So today I have something special. We're going to deviate from the format a little bit. Instead of doing Baba News, I thought I would deliver one of my favorite folk tales from my childhood. Oh, I searched high and I searched low and I found one of my favorites from my growings up.
This will be good. Which folk tale will you be reading for us?
This is called The Hunter and the Doves. And I am going to do this in a dramatic fashion.
What's the origin of the story? Where does it come from?
It comes from a rural place called Punjab. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Sorry, I need something for my throat. Here we go. Once upon a time, there was a flock of doves that flew in search of food. This flock was led by their king. Once it happened as such that the flock had flown a long distance, and all the doves got tired. The king of doves encouraged the doves to fly a little bit more. And one of the doves picked up pace and found some rice grains scattered under a banyan tree. All the doves were happy to find the food and happily landed on the ground. As soon as they began to eat the grains, a huge net fell over them, and all of them got trapped. The doves fluttered their wings, desperately trying to come out, but it was of no avail. Just then, they saw the hunter coming towards them. He appeared quite happy to find a large number of doves trapped inside the net. The whole flock was frightened on seeing the fowler. However, the king of doves was very intelligent and clever. He didn't lose his patience and devised a plan to come out from this adverse situation. He advised to the other doves, in order to get free from the nest. No, let me try that again. In order to get free from the net of this hunter, we should all fly up together, clutching the net in our beaks. There is strength in unity. We will decide our next course of action later. Now, come on and let's fly. Hearing the king, each dove picked up a portion of the huge net and they flew up together, carrying the net with them. The hunter was surprised to see the birds flying, along with the huge net. He ran after the birds, shouting madly, but could not catch them. Ooh, I hear birds. Soon they flew high over the hills and valleys, getting out of his sight. When the king dove saw that the hunter had given up the chase, he said to his friends, there you go. He said to his friend, oh no, I am in character now. Now, we all have to get out of this net. A mouse lives on the nearby hill. He is good friend of mine. Let us go to him for his help. They flew to a hill nearby a city of temples where the mouse lived. When the mouse heard the loud noise of doves approach, he got frightened and hid himself deeper into his hole. The king dove asked, "Dear friend, I have come, the king dove. We are in great difficulty. Please come out and help us." Hearing the voice of the king dove, the mouse came out of his hole and saw the king dove and his friends trapped in the net. The mouse said, "Hello?
Oh, that's very good. That's very good.
The mouse! I am the mouse! Oh! Whoa! Who has done all of this to you?" The king dove explained the whole story to the mouse. He told him that they required the mouse's help to nibble the net and set them free. The mouse immediately started nibbling the net around the king dove. The king dove said, "No, dear. First, set my followers free. A king cannot keep his subjects in pain, and enjoy the freedom for himself. The mouse understood the king's feelings and praised the king for his nobleness. As per the king's wish, the mouse nibbled at the portion of the net, and one by one, all the doves got freed, including the king dove. All the doves were happy to get free. They thanked the mouse for his effort and flew away together happily to their destination. And that is so very much it.
Is there a moral to the story?
Well, the moral is strength lies in unity.
Very well done.
Thank you so very much. That was fun to do.
And as we started to move along in the series, we were more interested in learning more about Baba's culture. We were starting to become more of a multicultural society, so why not? Why not get the facts from the man himself? So, a few clips here. Baba will take us through what Diwali is, the Holi festival, which is their springtime festival, and a little bit about Lord Ganesha. So sit back here, and then we will come back and, we're getting kind of close to, we're already an hour into this. We've got plenty to go here. I mean, this is a big time. At 80 years old, you deserve your own show, right? Your own episode around you. So here we go.
Hello, everybody. This is Baba Gonesh. It is time to bring the kiddies around the table. Yes. Oh, over the last few weeks, I have told you to keep the kiddies away from Uncle Baba because I have been going down a dark alley. But today, it is okay to bring the kiddies back. That is right. That is because it is upon us once again. Diwali, a beautiful holiday, and Uncle Baba wants to share the joy. Kiddies, do you know the story of Diwali? Oh, let me share it with you. It's very short. Once upon a time, there was a great warrior, Prince Rama, who had a beautiful wife named Sita. There was also a terrible demon king, Ravana. He had 20 arms and 10 heads and was feared throughout the land. He wanted to make Sita his wife, and one day he kidnapped her and took her away in his chariot. Clever Sita left a trail of her jewelry for Rama to follow. Rama followed the trail of glittering jewelry until he met the Monkey King, Hanuman, who became his friend and agreed to help him find Sita. Messages were sent to all the monkeys in the world, and through them to all the bears who set out to find Sita. After a very long search, Hanuman found Sita, imprisoned on an island. Rama's army of monkeys and bears could not reach the island, so they began to build a bridge. Soon, all the animals of the world, large and small, came to help. When the bridge was built, they rushed across it and fought a mighty battle. When Rama killed the evil Ravana with a magic arrow, the whole world rejoiced. Rama and Sita began their long journey back to their land, and everybody lit oil lamps to guide them on their way and welcome them back. And ever since, people light lamps at Diwali to remember that light triumphs over darkness and good triumphs over evil. And that is the story of Diwali.
You know, I just a comment on that. He at the start of that, he was talking about keeping Baba away from the kids. And I guess we kind of did some of this out of order. Baba did end up going down a dark path on our show. A short-lived series, probably about, 3 or 4 months. The series was called Baba Blue. And he would go into some, let's say, adult content. In fact, we've got an episode, one of the favorites from that period, which we'll probably close the show out with. But for now, let's stick with the holiday theme. We're going to go into his description of the Holi Festival. So we'll be back in a little bit.
Hello, everybody. This is Baba Gonesh, and hello. Once again, I am coming to you live on recording from my Dropbox. I am still in India only because I am still waiting for confirmation that this show is back before I come back. Because I do not need to be there if the show is only going on once a year. It's just not making sense. So I will stay here until the Smorg team tells me that we are back in business. So until then, I am here to deliver what is going on in my culture. So today, 1 week prior to the annual Holi Festival, I am here for 2 parts today. This first installment is what is Holi and why should you care? This is a little history and a little just a cultural sharing with you because I understand this is not something that the people in America celebrate, but it is very important. You should know this. So let me start. First of all, Hindus mark the arrival of spring every year by staging a popular Holi festival. Holi is the festival of colors, and there are 5 things that you need to know about this multicolored extravaganza. First, Holi celebrates the triumph of good over evil. The festival, which dates back to the 4th century, is best known for the sight of carnival revelers gathering to toss colored powder in the air, completely coating one another, which always makes for spectacular pictures that are duly reported around the world every year. There is a serious purpose behind it all, however. Holi celebrates fertility and love and marks the end of winter. It's kind of like your Groundhog Day. The festivities take place across 2 days. And Holi is divided into 2 parts. The first is Holika Dahan. This is staged the night before the big day and sees celebrants gathering together to observe a purification ritual in which a pyre of logs and dung cakes is burned, intended to represent the victory of good over evil. Families gathered to roast grain, popcorn, coconuts, and chickpeas together. The second part of Holi is called Rangvali Holi. This is the main event where everybody races around the town throwing handfuls of gulal. This is the what do you call it? Like the colored, the powdered colors. And spraying water, a joyous occasion in which differences of caste and ethnicity are put aside. Oh, it is so beautiful when everybody can come together on this day. This is the most common form of celebrations to take, but they can run on for much longer than just 2 days. For example, Holi lasts for 16 days in the Braj region of India. Oh, American men coming here on business, they don't know what they're in for. They're walking down the street in their nice 3-piece suit, and bam, they get hit with a big ball of fluorescent pink. And they have to go to their business meeting that way. Next, I'd like to share is that Holi draws its origins from Indian mythology. The idea behind the holiday comes from the legend of Krishna and Radha. The supreme deity fell in love with the goddess Radha, but was concerned about differences in their skin color. His, of course, being blue. His mother advised him to playfully paint her face to overcome their differences. Lovers today continue the tradition by making sure their faces match when the gulal begins to be thrown. You remember what the gulal is, I told you it before. That's the color, the powdered color. Holi also takes inspiration from Hindu Vedic scriptures, in which Holika, a malevolent devil, was burned to death after her brother, the demon king Hirakashakayap, ordered her to pass through the flames carrying his son, Prahlada, who had angered him by forsaking evil to become a devotee of Vishnu. The boy survived thanks to his faith while Holika was cremated. This is the significance of the ceremonial fires, which worshippers even run through in homage to the legend that are staged to this very day. Finally, the timing of Holi is synchronized with the moon. The date of the celebration varies year to year in accordance with the lunar cycles. This year, Rangwali Holi takes place on the 1st of March, while the pyres of Holika Dan will be burned the evening beforehand. So, you still have time to come out to my homeland. I will let you do your own research on how to get here, but it is planning to be such a good time, and I will be back for another segment later in the show to share Baba's beauty tips for a successful Holi celebration. Thank you very much.
I am on a holiday. When this is played, hopefully this will be played on a very, very special day. One of the reasons why I have chosen my holiday to fall on this very special week, it is because I am attending a very, very important festival in India called Gonesh Chaturthi. What is a Gonesh Chaturthi, you asked? Well, that is why I'm here to tell you. Gonesh Chaturthi is one of the most popular of all Hindu festivals. This is the birthday of Lord Ganesha. It is the day most sacred to Lord Ganesha. It falls on the 4th day of the bright fortnight of Bhadrapada, which means August and September. It is observed throughout all of India, as well as by devoted Hindus in all parts of the world. Clay figures of the god Ganesha are made, and after being worshipped for 2 whole days, or in some cases 10 days, they are thrown into water. Lord Ganesha is the elephant-headed god. He is worshipped first in any prayer. His names are repeated first before any auspicious work is begun and before any kind of worship has begun. The following is a story about Lord Ganesha's birth and how he came to have the head of an elephant. Once upon a time, the goddess Gauri, while bathing, created Ganesha as a pure white being out of the mud of her body and placed him at the entrance of the house. She told him not to allow anyone to enter while she was inside for a bath. Lord Shiva himself was returning home quite thirsty and was stopped by Ganesha at the gate. Lord Shiva became very angry and cut off Ganesha's head, as he thought Ganesha was an outsider. Oh, when Gauri came to know of this, she was sorely grieved. To console her grief, Shiva ordered his servants to cut off and bring him the head of any creature that might be sleeping with its head facing north. The servants went on a mission and found only an elephant in that position. The sacrifice was thus made, and the elephant's head was brought before Shiva. The Lord then joined the elephant's head onto the body of Ganesha. Now, one important thing to note is that Lord Ganesha has a vehicle, and the vehicle is actually a very, very small mouse. This may seem quite funny, but actually, the significance of riding on a mouse is the complete conquest over egoism. Ganesh is the first god. Riding on a mouse, one of nature's smallest creatures, and having the head of an elephant, the biggest of all animals, denotes that Ganesha is the creator of all creatures. Elephants are very wise animals, and this indicates that Lord Ganesha is an embodiment of wisdom. It also denotes the process of evolution. The mouse gradually evolves into an elephant and then finally becomes a man. This is why Ganesha has a human body, an elephant's head, and a mouse as his vehicle. This is the symbolic philosophy of his form. Another interesting story that I would like to share with you about Lord Ganesha is that he is very fond of sweet pudding, or balls of rice flour with a sweet core. On one of his birthdays, he was going around the house to house accepting the offerings of sweet puddings. Having eaten a good number of these, he set out moving on his mouse at night. Suddenly, the mouse stumbled. It had seen a snake, and it became very frightened, with the result that Ganesha fell down. His stomach burst open, and all the sweet puddings came out. But Ganesha stuffed them back into his stomach, and catching hold of the snake, tied it around his belly. Seeing all this, the moon in the sky had a very hearty laugh. This unseemly behavior of the moon annoyed him immensely, and so he pulled out one of his tusks and hurled it against the moon. And he cursed that no one should ever look at the moon on the Ganesh Chaturthi day. If anyone does, he will surely earn a bad name or get very sick. So, all of my good people out there, I would like to close with a prayer to Lord Ganesha. Please sit down with your legs folded and your eyes closed and listen to my prayer. Salutations to Lord Ganesha, who is the Supreme Lord, who is the energy of Lord Shiva, who is the source of all bliss, and who is the bestower of all virtuous qualities and success in all undertakings. Mushakavamana Modaka Hafta Chumara Karna Vilamana Sura Vamana Rupa Maheshwara Putra Vigama Vinakaka Pada Namaste. That means Lord, the remover of all obstacles, the son of Lord Shiva, with a form which is very short, with mouse as thy vehicle, with sweet pudding in hand, with wide ears and long hanging trunk. I prostrate at thy lotus-like feet. That is all I have to say about Lord Ganesha. Thank you so very much. I am Baba Gonesh, master of the wide open spaces between the ears.
Baba, of course, as the show was starting to become less frequently published, went back to the homeland. He had turned his restaurant business over to his son, Gonesh, I guess. And of course, we have the Restaurant Chronicles as a separate episode that we put together earlier in the summer, which you can go back and listen to Baba's restaurant days. But anyway, Baba returned to the homeland, and we still wanted him part of the show, so we set up this Dropbox for him. When he says, I'm live from my Dropbox, it just means he had these recordings, and he would just put them in the Dropbox, and then we would use them for the show. He became our international news correspondent, and of course, he would report from various locations in India and send us these urgent news reports. And of course, when we get into, the period of the pandemic and COVID, he was locked down for, I think, something like 480 days or something. So it made it difficult for him to get around to give the story, but he still pursued and got us the goods. So here's just a few episodes, a few installments of Baba News, urgent, breaking Baba News, I guess is what you call it. And sit back and enjoy. Hope you're enjoying it. This is the Baba Ganesh 80th birthday celebration.
Breaking Baba News, live from Punjab. This week, the Indian military has announced its decision to use the world's hottest chili pepper, the Bhut Jolokia, or ghost chili, to fight terrorism within India's borders. In an act of pure ingenuity, defense scientists will replace the explosives normally found in small hand grenades with chili powder to immobilize without killing. The pepper apparently generates enough heat to startle a person while we assume troops swoop in. Just how hot is the pepper? It is reported to have a score of more than 1 million Scoville units, which measure the amount of chemoreceptor stimulators in any given chili pepper. For comparison, the average pimento pepper ranges from 100 to 500, and jalapenos from 2,500 to 8,000. For your calculations, that's about 2,000 times hotter than chili peppers of jalapeno kind. To get a better illustration of how bad these peppers are when consumed by the human being, I have taken to the streets of Punjab and I found Manmeet Kumar, and he has sampled the Bhut Jolokia. Here is his reaction. What is outstanding is that the pepper, capable of choking terrorists and forcing them from hideouts, is actually edible. In northeast India, the Bhut Jolokia is not only appreciated for its taste, but is also tested as a cure for stomach troubles and a way to fight the summer heat. And that is not the all. Other potential uses include aerosol self-defense sprays for women, body temperature raising food supplements for soldiers deployed in cold weather, fences coating to deter wild animals, and riot control and mob dispersal devices. This is Breaking Baba News with Baba from Punjab. This is Breaking Baba News, live from Punjab. Indian man has been stabbed to death by a rooster. Tangula Satish, age 45, was stabbed to death by his own rooster after he attached a 3-inch knife to its leg for an illegal cockfight. According to the police report, the man fitted his rooster with a knife, which was tied around its leg while training in the village of Lantuthur in Telangana. During the cockfighting training, the rooster then stabbed Satish in the groin. When the bird he had just armed for the fight fluttered in panic and tried to escape. Satish was hit by the rooster's knife in his groin and started bleeding heavily, said Police Inspector B. Jivan, revealing that the victim died on his way to a local hospital after sustaining heavy blood loss. Al Jazeera is reporting that authorities are now seeking the identities and whereabouts of the other 15 organizers who could be facing manslaughter charges where each organizer could face up to 2 years in prison if found guilty. As for the rooster, it has survived, as it was seen in a variety of photos that went viral on social media, showing it tied up with a rope and pecking on grains at the police station. In these cockfights, banned in India in 1960, 2 specifically bred roosters have a knife or a blade attached to their legs, and then people bet on who will win the gruesome fight, which is determined when one contestant is either dead or has fled. Despite the nationwide ban on cockfighting, it remains common in the southern Indian states of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, and Karnataka, often under the watch of powerful local politicians with big money bets. This particular incident makes the term cockfight even more appropriate. This has been Baba Gonesh, live with Breaking Baba News from Punjab. This is Breaking Baba News live from Delhi. This was supposed to be the start of a new series where Baba discusses Hindi wedding traditions. But unfortunately duty calls, and I must return to my investigative journalist role as India faces a nationwide crisis with COVID-19 running rampant once again. There are new calls for India's Prime Minister to implement a nationwide shutdown as COVID-19 spreads to a breakneck speed. The country on Saturday reported more than 4,000 deaths due to the virus, marking a new single-day high. The coronavirus is claiming lives faster than India can bury or cremate them, after it felt like the country had dodged a freight train. Last year, when the US and much of the world were reeling from the pandemic, India was relatively unscathed. Prime Minister Narendra Modi took the credit, saying, "We saved mankind from a big disaster by saving our citizens from the pandemic." Defying warnings from the government's own scientists, the country opened up. Social distancing vanished at political rallies and religious gatherings, including on the Ganges River, thought to be the biggest super spreader event in history. Since February, infections have spiked. 200,000, 300,000, and now more than 400,000 cases in a single day, for a third day in a row, forcing makeshift crematories. Now the country is scrambling to provide vaccines and treatment, which is in short supply. Oxygen shortages have forced Indians to line up for hours, even days. Several states have announced stricter lockdowns as the government faces mounting pressure to restrict movements nationwide. Prime Minister Modi has been accused of doing too little and has left the responsibility for combating the virus to state governments. His government has said it is doing all it can in a once-in-a-century crisis. However, many in the medical expert field and opposition leaders are urging national restrictions, saying a patchwork of state rules is not enough to curb the surge in cases. Dozens of bodies have been washing up on the banks of the Ganges River as hospitals and crematoriums across India remain overwhelmed by the country's rampant second wave of COVID-19. At least 71 corpses washed up in the city of Buxar, adding that they were likely coming from India's most populous state, Uttar Pradesh. Unidentified bodies will be cremated as per the government's pandemic safety protocols. In this capital of Delhi, ashes of COVID-19 patients are going unclaimed, according to Reuters. Oh, is it Reuters? Sorry about that. A report by the Press Trust of India on Monday found that people are abandoning bodies of COVID-19 victims in fear of catching the infection themselves. India has opened vaccinations to all adults this month in attempt to contain the surge in cases. However, many Indian states have been seen shortages in vaccine stocks. India is administering 2 domestically manufactured vaccines, Covishield, made by the Serum Institute of India, and Covaxin, made by Bharat Biotech. Both companies have struggled to meet the increasing demand. However, a glaring hesitancy to get vaccinated remains apparent in India. The correct information about the vaccination is not reaching people via the government. And that is why there is a lack of trust factor, and many people are not registering for the vaccine. It is also worth noting that migrant workers and the poor were being overlooked in the country's vaccination attempts. These vaccines are only for the privileged people or the tech-savvy. But what about those people who don't have mobile telephones? Or how about those who do not have internet connections? How will they get the vaccine? These are the questions that Baba is asking. And these are the questions that no one is answering. This is Breaking Baba News, live from Delhi, with Baba Gonesh in lockdown once again. Day 403.
So we are coming to a close of this episode, and we've had to leave a few classic bits on the cutting room floor, unfortunately, but I have to squeeze in just a few more here. These next two are just a couple of short clips, recognizing that he would often try to adapt our holidays as well and give his perspective. Sometimes our holidays were celebrated over in India, or he had an idea of how they were supposed to be celebrated, and he would kind of bring some of that flair to the show. I had a few here. I think I'm going to save the Thanksgiving one for the next episode, which happens to be Thanksgiving weekend. But let's get these down. This kind of shows Baba's sensitive side. We've got a Valentine's Day poem from him. This is from the very first time Baba came onto the show, episode 3, and Allie met him for the first time, so I'm sure she was taken in by his presence. And then we're going to go into the Father's Day message, and then we're going to close out with something from his Baba Blue series. How's that sound? All right, sit back. So here's Valentine's Day 2010.
Hello! Who is this person here?
Oh, I'm Allie. I'm new to this whole thing.
Where's Dave?
He's not doing the show anymore.
Oh no, where is it? Hey, welcome, Baba. Thank you very much. I thought in light of the fact that it is Valentine's Day, it would be time to do some love poems.
Well, that sounds great. How does that sound to you?
Okay.
Should we go into the love poems?
Sure.
Okay. Baba, why don't you get up on the stage and do what Allie just did. She got up on there, and go ahead and give us what you got.
This one is called The Last Valentine.
Okay.
All right. Shoot.
Go ahead.
A calm, clear night with a chill in the air. Snuggling around a warm drink. Wrapped in sweats. Dog in my lap. Comfort has found me here. Shows on TV take up time while friends come and go. Night sitting in on emptiness, turning to eternity.
Okay.
The aroma of fresh pastry. Vanilla is the flavor of blood. Full moon has risen.
I see.
The demon now stalks for its prey. Valentine hearts pump furiously, fueling the scent so strong. Feasting on innocence, bloody screams, his favorite song. What? Beware the Valentine you accept, for it may be your last. Thank you very much. All this talk about fathers brings me back to a very favorite memory of my own. In fact, you might say it's a multi-generational story. You know, I don't often like to talk about my personal life on this show because I like to maintain, a certain mystique about my life. But given the celebration of today, I think it is important to share a little bit of this with you. When I was a middle-aged man, so many years ago, my father and I went to a cricket game. That is a very popular sport in my homeland. While my infant son, Gonesh, stayed back with my mother and fell asleep at their house. I didn't get back to pick him up until about 12:30 in the morning, at which point I had to wake the poor child up and put him in the car seat for our long ride home. He was really good about it and fell back asleep for the majority of the 45-minute ride back home. When I got home, I grabbed him out of the car seat once again, at which point he got a little fussy. I don't exactly blame him. I woke him up out of a dead sleep twice and brought him out into the chilly weather. So as I'm carrying him up the walk to our front door through the early morning darkness, Gonesh turns to me, faces me directly, and he says, "Dada." And then an amazing thing happened. He ripped not one, not two, but 3 extremely intense farts. Oh, these were loud. Maybe they were just amplified by the stillness and dead quiet of the wee morning. But all I know is he farted right on my arm, and the vibrations carried all the way to my feet. If any seismologists want to know what that slight tremor was at 1:10 a.m. in the area of Barnala district of Punjab, fear not. It was merely my son displaying his staggering gastrointestinal capabilities. But the best part of this was the aftermath. After he farted, I was flat out impressed. Seriously, it was that good. So he farts, and then there's this 3-second pause where I look at him incredulously, and he looks at me as if to say, "Whoa, did I just do that?" So we were staring at each other, and then at the exact same time, we both started laughing hysterically, giggling like little kids, which is cool for him and possibly pathetic for me that I still find farts funny at this age. And then we instinctively high-fived each other. Oh, it was an extremely touching moment for me and a memory that I carry with me to this very day. I excitedly told my wife Lomasi, which by the way means beautiful blossom, about this because I thought it was so darn hilarious, but she just thought we were disgusting and ridiculous. Whatever, she just doesn't get it. Some things are solely meant to be between a father and his son. I hope you enjoyed that story.
Who says Baba didn't have a sensitive side, huh? Well, we reached the conclusion of the show with a final bit here from his Baba Blue series, which went on for, 3 or 4 months, and I don't know. It was just a little bit out of character for him. We told him to dial it back. This one isn't too bad. This isn't raunchy or anything. This is just, subject matter that he normally just didn't get into. So we'll do this, and then we will close out the show. Breaking news flash. Delhi man is mistaken for a Bollywood sex symbol. I am Baba Gonesh, your humble international news correspondent, and this is Breaking Baba News. A man from Delhi has complained to the police that he has been receiving hundreds of phone calls from fans of Bollywood actress Sunny Leone after his number was used in her recent movie Arjun Patiala. So far, he has received hundreds of phone calls. The callers tell him that they want to talk to Sunny Leone. He tried to convince them that it is not her phone number. It all started with a scene from the recently released film Arjun Patiala, a romantic comedy about a small-town policeman, where the character played by Leone shares her phone number with another character in the film. The victim, 27-year-old Puneet Agarwal, a resident of Pitimura, told the BBC
He had been receiving more than 100 calls a day since the movie was released on 26 July. I don't even dream anymore, he says. The phone keeps ringing and ringing until 4 in the morning. The calls are disrupting his life to such an extent that he is taking legal action to try to get the film edited so his phone number is bleeped out. Leone is a former American porn star who has since broken into Bollywood. She has acted in erotic thrillers and adult comedies and is often portrayed as a sex symbol. So perhaps it is not surprising that men from across India and even the world are calling Mr. Agarwal because they believe it is really her number. And Mr. Agarwal is tired of it. The film producers should have at least called to check if it is a real number, he told the BBC. The director of Arjun Patiala declined to comment. In the weeks since the film hit the screens, Mr. Agarwal has not been able to work, sleep, or even eat his meals in peace. But giving up a phone number that he has had for years is not an option, he says. It's connected to my business, and many old friends have this number. I, Baba Gonesh, have spoken to Mr. Agarwal, and he told me to the great extent of his anxiety.
सर मेरा नाम पुनीत अग्रवाल है, मैं पीतमपुरा दिल्ली का रहने वाला हूँ। समस्या सर मेरे को ये है कि एक फ़िल्म प्रदर्शित हुई है हाल ही में जिसका नाम है अर्जुन पटियाला। उसमें सनी लियोनी ने जो मेरा नंबर है उसको अपना नंबर बताया है और लोगों के जब से ही फ़ोन आने चालू हो गए, मेरे पास 450 फ़ोन आ चुके हैं कम से कम।
Mr. Agarwal has received on the very first day of the film's release. The caller asked to speak to Leone and wouldn't believe Mr. Agarwal when he told him he had dialed the wrong number. An irritated Mr. Agarwal eventually hung up. The first 2, 3, even 10 calls, I thought somebody was playing prank on me. I thought maybe it was a friend of mine, but the calls kept coming. And they all asked him the same question, can I speak to Sunny Leone? He started to realize that what was really going on after many of the calls referred to the film. So I watched the movie and my number was really there, Mr. Agarwal says. It wasn't the fault of the callers, they were really given my phone number. He says he tried to register a police complaint, but the police were unable to help since the callers were not committing a criminal offense. Instead, they suggested that he approach a court. Mr. Agarwal has since filed a petition to have his number removed from the film. He doesn't want to sue the producers, but says he just wants to make sure his phone number isn't publicized further, such as when the film becomes available on streaming networks. He also says he wants to prevent this from happening to anybody else. All the mornings are quiet until about 8:30, and then the calls start. After that, the phone rings every 2 to 3 minutes for the rest of the day, making it impossible for him to concentrate on anything he is doing. Mr. Agarwal has received phones from Italy, Dubai, Pakistan, and Australia. His most persistent caller, however, has been from New Zealand. When Mr. Agarwal didn't answer the phone, the caller began messaging him on WhatsApp, harassing him to accept a video call. When Mr. Agarwal refused, the man sent photos of himself and asked for them to be shown to Leone, and for photos of her to be sent to him. So far, all but 2 callers have been men. The women wanted to speak to any actor, not Leone. When I said I cannot help her, one of the women asked me to speak for her for some time. I said that would not be possible and hung up. But the calls can quickly turn dark, and there is regular verbal abuse. It starts politely, but once I say I do not know her, they start abusing me. They say they know where I live and they will come to teach me a lesson. I am being harassed by many callers. People are abusing me and asking me to do dirty favors. I have filed a police complaint, but till now the police has not taken any action, even after giving me assurances, he said. He hopes the calls will stop soon. In the meantime, he's found a solution to keep the calls short. I just tell them that she has gone to have a bath and cannot speak right now. As for Sunny Leone's reaction to the incident, Baba has obtained an exclusive apology from the actress. When I spoke to her last week, she offered this heartfelt apology to Mr. Agarwal.
Sorry. Sorry, guy. Didn't mean for that to happen to you. Must get some really interesting people calling.
And this has been Breaking Baba News.
That's just great. The man, the legend, the genius, the guru, Mr. Baba Gonesh. And we have to close with Baba's favorite birthday song. Baba, thanks for being such a good friend to us over the years on this show. You're amazing, and many, many more healthy years ahead.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to Jenny. Happy birthday to you. बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये जाए, तू जिए हजारों साल, ये मेरी है आरज़ू.
Remember, Baba, what you always told us. Age is not that important unless you're a cheese. This has been the Smorgasbord Radio Show, the Smorg Show podcast. Check us out at smorgshow.com. Our address, our feedback email address is feedback@smorgshow.com. And don't forget to check out Baba's website. Not website. Well, he's got a website. It's on our show. It's on ours. He piggybacked. He's got his own section. But no, check out his podcast, the Baba Gonesh podcast, heard on all major platforms. And that's it. Thanks for listening to us. And we'll be back in a couple weeks with another episode of Smorgasbord Radio, also known as the Smorg Show podcast. Take care, everybody.